Okay, so we'll come to the part 2 of your course unit 3. So the next topic is all about the Turkish organized crime. So let's watch the video.
Turkey's strategic location as a gateway from Asia into Europe and its proximity to opium-producing areas of Afghanistan and Pakistan have long made it an important locus for narcotics trafficking, predominantly heroin. Turkey itself has long been an opium producer in early 1970s. So, yung Turkey, lalo na yung mga Turkish mafia, lagi silang involved simula pa nung 1970s sa drug trafficking, mainly heroin and opium. Then, up to present, ginagawa pa rin nila yon. Marami na ring mga iba pang illegal activities ang mga nangyari or ginagawa nila. Kasama na dito yung money laundering and human smuggling na i-discuss later. The activities and structures of Turkish organized crime. Number 1, a traditional concentration on the trade in opiates. Naging silang concentration dahil napapaligiran sila ng opium-producing countries like Afghanistan and Pakistan. Number 2, social structure that emphasizes loyalty to the clan and family. Number 3, the long-running war between the Turkish government and ethnic guerrillas. Meron kasing nagaganap na war between Turkish government and Kurdish. Yung Kurdish kasi gusto nilang maging autonomy sa Turkey. Number 4, connection that have developed between criminal groupings and particular political figures and factions.
Trafficking operations. Yung Turkish Organized Crime Group is yung primarily function nila is bilang isang coordinators, financiers sa drug trade. Then, ginagamit din nila dito yung experiences nila sa pagta-transport. Kasi yung may mga illegal activities sila na katulad ng human trafficking, tsaka yung mga arms smuggling, ganon. Tapos may mga legal businesses rin sila na ginagawa nilang front para sa kanilang heroin trafficking. Tapos meron din silang mga warehouse para sa heroin nila dito sa Hungary, Romania at sa Bulgaria.
Turkish organized crime groups are usually hierarchical, homogeneous. Pag sinabing hierarchical, may boss, may underboss. At may organizational structure din sila gaya ng Italian organized group. Sa paglipas ng panahon, they form partnership with the other organized group in Europe. Kumbaga may ibang kasamaan sila for committing transnational crime. Turkish organized crime, they involve drug trade or drug trafficking. They transfer drugs with their country, then transfer to another country. And then their partner assists them to successfully transfer to other country. For Albania and Turkish organized groups have their partnership and prove that two organized group exploiting a large segment in European market. At hindi lang drug trafficking ang ginagawa nila, even other fields of illegal business.
Money laundering. Dahil nga merong mga legal businesses ang mga Turkish organized crime groups sa Turkey, tulad ng restaurant, bar, fast food chains, and marami pang iba. Ginagamit nilang ito para sa kanilang money laundering, na yung pera galing sa kanilang heroin trafficking, pinapasok nila, ini-invest nila sa businesses nila para malinis yung kanilang pera na from bad to good income.
So, what is human trafficking? Human trafficking is the trade of humans for the purpose of of forced labor, sexual slavery, or sexual exploitation. In Turkey, Turkish crime syndicates have exploited Turkey's strategic geopolitical placement as an Asian gateway to Europe. Turkey has gradually become a target country for illegal immigrants.
Okay, so I guess tama na yung kanilang video. And then, so hindi ko na siya further elaborate since Turkey is not a major country and all of they said is true naman. Okay po. So next na tayo is organized crime in the Philippines. So play naman natin yung kinanin niya. Okay, let's watch it.
Hello, fellow students. It is us, the last group from BS Criminology 3Y3-3, here to discuss to you the organized crime in the Philippines. So, just like the other countries that were discussed, our country, the Philippines, is not an exemption when it comes to transnational crimes and organized crimes. In fact, sobrang dami nang nangyayari ng mga organized crimes and transnational crimes dito sa bansa natin, pero iilan lang yung nadodocument talaga. And the government created a group para mag-conduct and mag-disseminate ng research about sa transnational crimes. It is called the Philippine Center on Transnational Crimes. So, as said in this slide, much of the available documentation crystallized drug trafficking and trafficking in persons as the chief organized crime problems in the Philippines. So, these two, according sa research ng Philippine Center on Transnational Crime, is yung drug trafficking and human trafficking. So there is a data here that says in 2000, it was estimated that 143,611 Filipino women had left the country and ended up working in slavery-like conditions abroad. So yung mga 143,611 Filipino women na to, they were transported to other countries. Some were worked like slaves, hindi sila pinapakain or hindi sila sinusweldohan. They're not being treated right, and some worse, in a worse condition, they were forced to work as sex slaves. So there are many organized crime groups in our country, pero we will just tackle four, and the first one will be our main focus. So here are the notorious organized crime groups in the Philippines, namely Kuratong Balelang, Bahala Nagang, Satanas, and the Pentagon Kidnapping Group. So let us now go to the first organized crime group. So this is Kuratong Balelang, and the picture on the right is Mr. Octavio Parohinog Sr., or known as Mr. Ongkoy Parohinog Sr., and he is the first leader of the group. Kuratong Balelang is a gang of bank robbers, kidnappers, and smugglers once established as an anti-communist vigilante group created by the military. The name Kuratong came from a name of a traditional bamboo instrument used to call villagers for a meeting or to alert them of the approach of enemies. Balelang also means young lady, and they were active from 1986 to 2008. They were formerly known as the Francisco Group or the Dragon. In 1995, the group was involved in one of the most talked about controversial cases in the Philippines, the Kuratong Balelang rabout case.
Kuratong Balelang History. Ang Kuratong Balelang ay kilala din sa tawag na Darling Bells. It was created by the military noong 1986. At ang bumuo ng grupo na ito ay si Army Major Franco Calanog. At hindi ito ang naging leader ng grupo na to, kundi siya ang nag-assign ng kauna-unahang naging pinuno na si Octavio, kilala sa pangalan na Ongkoy Parahinog. Ang grupo na ito mayroong dalawang ginagawa kung hindi yung isa ay protektahan ng kanilang pinuno sa paggawa niya ng mga illegal na gawain. At ang pangalawa naman ay bawasan ang mga rebellion sa bansa. At ang kanilang leader ay kilala sa tawag na Robin Hood of Lawis. Kasi kilala siya sa pagiging soft-hearted na tao na nagbibigay ng tulong sa mga nangangailangan. Kahit ang kanyang ginagawa ay masama, pero siya pa din ay marunong tumulong. Binaril si Octavio nung nalaman na siya ay gumagawa ng pagnanakaw sa mga firearms. Binaril siya habang siya ay nasa sabungan ng mga 466 na Philippine Constabulary. Ang Philippine Constabulary ay ito yung mga police force noong mga 1990s. At si Octavio ay namatay. At pinalitan siya ng kanyang anak. Na si Nato Parohinog.
Ang karakteristik ng Kuratong Balelang ay maingat sila sa bawat galaw nila o paggawa ng mga illegal na gawain. Pinagplanuhan nila ng maigi upang hindi pumalpak ang kanilang mga misyon. Pinasok din nila yung politika upang lumakas pa ang kanilang grupo at para na rin matakpan ang kanilang illegal na gawain at dumami rin yung mga opisyal na pumoprotekta sa mga illegal na gawain nila.
Kuratong Balelang Group ay kilala sa mga illegal activity na robbery, kidnapping, murder, extortion, and illegal drugs. Robbery, kadalasan nilang ginagawa ito yung mga ino-hold up nila yung mga mga iba't ibang bangko dito sa Pilipinas at ganun din ang kidnapping. Murder ay madalas nila itong ginagawa sa iba't ibang parte ng Pilipinas dahil ang grupo ng Kuratong Balelang ay hindi lamang nakabase sa isang lugar lamang, pati ang extortion o racketeering, ganun din ang illegal drugs.
So, the group was composed of military men and some people na nirecruit ni Ongkoy from the urban poor barangays of Mindanao. Tapos, they did double duties as mentioned by the other member. The first is to control or wag nang padamihin yung mga communist guerrilla groups or yung mga NPA sa Mindanao. And at the same time, they cover up and they protect Parohinog's illegal activities para hindi lumabas sa public. Tapos, even with the death of their first leader, the group continued to run and did their illegal activities under the supervision and under the leading of Ongkoy's son, Nato Parohinog, not until their last reign on 2008. So let's now go to the other notorious organized crime group in the Philippines. The first one is the Bahala Nagang or the BNG that started on prisons in the early 1940s that was formed by Divino Talastas. It is made to match the existing group Sige Sige. Tapos yung name na Bahala Nagang, galing siya dun sa existing nag-bar noon, night bar particularly, na Bahala na Bar. Yung Bahala na Bar, this is where gangs, dito laging nagpupunta yung mga gangs. Dito lagi sila nagtitipon-tipon, minsan to just drink, but sometimes to fight for their thrones sa mga kanya-kanya nilang lugar. Tapos the main goal of Bahala Nagang is merely to protect the members from the terrors of other gangs. Di ba ganun naman, minsan sumasali yung mga tao sa mga gangs para maprotektahan sila sa mga ibang gangs sa lugar nila. And then, yung Bahala Nagang is involved in drug trade, extortion, murder, and human trafficking. Tapos bongga silakse. In the late 1960s, the members of BNG came to San Francisco, California, and formed the first set of BNG within the USA. Yun yung first international group ng BNG. So in this slide, we have here the photo of the 138th chapter of the Bahala Nagang on their 56th anniversary on the left. Tapos on the right naman is the tattoos of Bahala Nagang members. So the second one is the Satanas or the STS or the STS gang. So this is a Filipino-American street gang in California established in 1972 and considered to be one of the earliest and first film street gang in LA. Member states an extensive generation of history, however, as a result of their private procedures and no document records, their roots cannot be fully traced. Yung Satanas gang na to, rivals sila ng Bahala Nagang. Remember when I told you na yung Bahala Nagang went to California? So yan, nag-meet sila ng Satanas gang and they were rivals. Tapos, nung una, mostly Filipino lang yung members ng Satanas gang, pero some American people joined them. Tapos sabi dito na their roots cannot be fully traced kasi ang ingat nilang magtrabaho, kaya ang hirap maghanap ng document records ng mga tao na member dito. And as of now, this group is still active. The last one, we have the Pentagon Group or the Pentagon Kidnapping Group. This group was formed by late Ahir Olonto, and it was notorious for bombing buses and terminals of transportation companies where it extorted money. And it is a Moro criminal kidnap for ransom gang whose prominent leaders are former members of the Moro National Liberation Front. So this, yung mga to, some are Abu Sayyaf members. Tapos they are a large group na associated with kidnapping for ransom. And this group is still active pero lagas na sila and hindi na sila masyadong nagpapakita sa public. That is the end of our presentation. I hope you learned so much from our discussion. Again, we are the last group of BS Criminology 3Y3-3. Thank you for listening.
Okay, very good for the Group 8 kahit apat lang sila at puro sininya halos ang narinig ko. Pero to provide another. So, meron pa kasi, maliban sa apat na sinabi nila, meron pa. So, Philippines OCG, do you know that Philippines is considered as the heaven for sex industry? Okay? So, organized criminal groups virtually control over aspect of the commerce in women and child trafficking. Kasi most victims of the human trafficking ay nanggagaling po sa Philippines. And alam nyo na ang ginagawa sa kanila pag na-traffic sila. 'Di ba? Lagi naman silang, ang sinasabi sa kanila, magiging katulong sila or domestic helper sila kapag napunta sa ibang bansa. Pero ang totoo, pag ang nangyari pag napunta sila sa ibang bansa, ganun na. So a number of women are sent abroad as entertainers, but later end up as prostitutes. Yung iba naman as entertainer, singer, dancer daw, pero sa bandang huli magiging silang prostitute. So Thailand, Japan, and other Asian countries are common places of their destination. So young children for pedophiles are also being catered. So next, so meron din tayong Francisco Group. Or yung na-discuss na nila kanina yan, 'di ba? Or yung Kuratong Balelang. So hindi ko na kailangan pang explain din 'to, pati si Pentagon Group, alam niyo na 'yon. So ito na lang si Lexus Group. Si Lexus Group, it is a kidnapping group around 37 members operating in NCR. So Lexus, 'di ba? Lexus is a brand of a car. Then meron din tayong Rex Waki Salud Group. Ito naman, it operates illegal gambling in Cebu with around 30 members. So small group lang 'yan. Meron din tayong Vic U Group. It operates illegal gambling in the Central Visayas with around 16 members. And then, meron din tayo ng Ilonggo Kfr Group or yung Kidnap for Ransom Group. It is composed of remnants of the paramilitary force Kuratong Balelang, which was first organized in the 1970s and reactivated in the early 80s to help address the renewed threat of the local communist movement in Misamis Occidental. However, the decline of the insurgency problem in the area, this paramilitary force outlived its purpose and gradually metamorphosed into a notorious crime syndicate. So it's engaged extortion, protection, racket, and bank robbery, and it is believed that it has merged with the other crime groups, especially in the dreaded Ilonggo crime, headed by Eduardo Boy Iran. Meron din tayong lost command. Yung mga KFR, ibig sabihin kidnap for ransom. So it means mainly composed of ex-soldiers. So naman mga dating sundalo, dating mga police who were rendered jobless after the 1986 EDSA revolution. So dating yung mga dating pulis, yung mga dating sundalo, 'di ba? Syempre naka-Marcos sila noon. Nung nagkaroon ng EDSA revolution, nawalan sila ng trabaho. So most of its members are seasoned combatants and have a good background in intelligence works. Kasi nga, dati silang mga soldier at saka mga pulis. And then meron tayong Waray Abuyo Group. Ang Waray Abuyo Group is composed of hardened criminals from Samar and Leyte. It operates in Metro Manila and hibernates in the said provinces after the successful execution of the heist. Ito naman, ang mga ex-convicts sila, syempre. Sila yung mga mas lalong natuto sa loob ng kulungan kung paano gumawa ng crime. Ayan, Waray Abuyo Group. And the last one, so mas pinili kong huli to dahil wala naman siyang specific country. So let's play this. This is from the group of Ruela.
So, Outlaw Motorcycle Gang, known for their meaning as mute forever. So, this gang was a threat to law enforcement officers. So, I'll give you a brief background of their history. So, Outlaw Motorcycle Gangs first appeared in US in the late 1940s as a returning soldier to form a brotherhood. So, as time goes by, their members continue to increase and they continue to expand, and it was a very dangerous and a threat to our law enforcement officers.
Outlaw Motorcycle Gang, isang kilalang motorcycle gang na lumilibot sakay ng Harley Davidson around America. Sila ay kilala bilang isang limited membership na kung saan ikaw ay dapat white man at may kakayahan financially, at syempre dapat mayroon kang Harley Davidson na motorcycle. Meron din silang tinatawag na voting process na kung saan kailangan mong may kakilala sa isang club upang mapasok ka sa miyembro ng Outlaw Motorcycle Gang. Dahil daraan ka sa voting process na kung saan pagbubotohan ka ng mga full patch member ng Outlaw Motorcycle Gang. When we say naman full patch member, ito yung mga fully na miyembro na ng Outlaw Motorcycle Gang. At ang being patch ay kung saan ito ay bagong recruit na dumadaan pa sa elimination at pagpapakita ng allegiance sa grupo. At kailangan nilang ipamalas at ipakita ang code of secrecy at loyalty ng Outlaw Motorcycle Gang.
Sa commercial naman, yun yung profit-oriented serious criminal activities, or they participate in range and predatory and consensual criminal activities such as drug trafficking, trafficking in women, loan sharking, extortion, mass marketing fraud, gambling, and vehicle theft. Under naman sa tactical criminal activities, ito yung mga criminal activities na pinagplanuhan talaga nila from the word tactical. Under naman dyan yung mga violence, corruption, intelligence gathering, and money laundering.
Ito yung mga well-known activities ng Outlaw Motorcycle Gang. Ito yung mga kilalang aktibidad ng isang Outlaw Motorcycle Gang, alimbawa ng mga sumusunod. Narcotics trade. Ito yung main source of income. Motorcycle theft, prostitution, gang violence, money laundering. Possession and trafficking of illegal weapon. Ito yung mga pamamaraan na gawain ng mga Outlaw Motorcycle Gang. Ito yung mga illegal activity nila na kinakasangkutan nila sa paggawa ng mga krimen.
Cultures. Normality is not a common thing among outlaw bikers. In fact, they blatantly reject social norms. Deviancy and hedonism are not abnormal characteristics but expected norms in the gang. This is apparent in the way that outlaw bikers incorporate them in their everyday life by entwining with almost every single aspect of their life. Nothing is normal about these men live, even the way they treat women is mere deviancy. Ang culture daw ng Outlaw Motorcycle Gang is, if sa atin normal lang gumawa ng mabuti, but sa kanila naman normal na gumawa ng kasamaan. Parang innate na sila na gumawa ng masama sa kanilang everyday routine. Tapos yung pag-treat nila sa mga babae, hango din sa kanilang mga ugali na kanilang pinatakot.